I just dropped 4 pieces of Repashy into this 10-gallon tank, and let's see how long it takes for them to go crazy on this stuff. Pretty safe to say we can call this plecos new home the top of this Repashy. Let's see what these guys do. Oh, the molly swings in. Got a battle for this piece of Repashy.
And these guys just tear it apart.
What's up YouTube? Ryan, aka the Lucky Schmuck, back here again with another video for you, this time on location in the kitchen. Today, I'm gonna be showing you guys how much all my fish, shrimp, and snails love to eat Repashy. But first, let me show you how to make it real quick. Now we have everything we need to make the Repashy right here. What we're gonna need is some Repashy and some boiling water. We're also gonna need a fork and a container. That's it. Let's do it. If you didn't know already, Repashy is a gel food. You have to make it. It actually is sold as a powder. You mix that powder with boiling water, but it is really, really simple. All you do is you pour in your boiling water, and you want to measure about 2 to 3 times more boiling water than the powder. And sprinkle in your powder. And once the powder is in there, you just stir it up. So once you give it a good stir for about 30 seconds to a minute, you can let it sit out at room temperature for just about 20 to 30 minutes. It sets pretty quick, and now you get this nice gel. As you can see here, it's nice and firm, and now I can get to show you guys how much the fish love eating this stuff. I'm gonna start out with these livebearers here. There's some swordtails, and they are just tearing it apart before it even hits the ground.
They're even picking it up off the ground here, and what's cool about that is typically I feed these guys flakes in the top of the water. Maybe they'll eat something mid-water, but they don't typically eat off the bottom. But here you see, for this Repashy, they are more than willing to go to the bottom of the tank.
And all the fry, you can see them, it's about 3 or 4 fry, maybe even more, surrounding this little piece of Repashy, just going crazy for it. I put a piece of Repashy here in the tank with my dwarf Cajun crayfish. And as you can see, one of the 4 is starting to approach the Repashy. This is the first time I've fed these guys, but even they seem to be already indulging. And if you look closely in the back there, underneath that cave on the left, there's another one kind of peeking out too. Probably won't be long until he joins the party. Update on the crayfish, there's about to be a battle. Got a battle for this piece of Repashy.
Oh, and the bigger guy's gonna win, at least for now. One of the knocks I hear about Repashy is the difficulty to make it, and I think we already disproved that earlier in the video. Another knock against it is how much it smells. Yes, maybe it smells more than your pellet or flake food, but I didn't need to evacuate the kitchen, light a candle, or open up a window at all.
Next up here is going to be the community tank. Now, don't mind the scape, it's a little messy. I'm kind of in the middle of the scape right now, so let's just pop some Repashy in here and see what the fish do. There's some neon tetras, there's some guppies, there's some mollies, corridoras. Now, I don't really feed Repashy that often. I don't know if I've ever fed Repashy to this tank, but let's see what these guys do. Oh, the molly swings in. So far, the molly is still the only one that realizes. The fry are starting to go crazy. I think they realize something is up, but they haven't figured it out yet. The corridoras, curious. So far, it's a one-man buffet. He's eating at both pieces. Now more of the gang has figured it out and they're swarming the area, although I think half of them still don't realize where the food is. The great thing about Repashy is even if your fish can't find it and it sits in your tank, it will not rot. So even if you overfeed a little bit, it's a perfect food for you if you tend to overfeed, as it will not break down in the tank and spoil the water as quick as other foods. I just dropped 4 pieces of Repashy into this 10-gallon tank with a bunch of red ram's horn snails and blue neocaridina shrimp. And let's see how long it takes for them to go crazy on this stuff. There's 2 pieces there, and there's a piece here and a piece in that dwarf lily. So I'm gonna let them see here I'm gonna let it sit here for a second and I'll check back and let you guys know how long it took. These shrimp were definitely quick to the party. I have a feeling that if I come back in like 20-30 minutes that there's gonna be covered in snail since they take a little bit longer to get going. But that's what typically happens when I feed this tank. The shrimp come out first, eat, and then when I come back later, there's the huge ball of snails on whatever it was. For this tank here, we're gonna try something different. I just put those zucchini in there maybe a few hours ago. So we're going to see if the fish, snails, and shrimp will leave the zucchini and go to the Repashy. Oh, it's been less than 5 minutes and the zucchini that was previously swarmed has been vacated for the new hotspot, which is the Repashy that was dropped into the tank over here. Another great benefit of this stuff is that, let's say you make a lot like I just did, and even though I have a bunch of tanks, that Repashy is still gonna last me a while. I can stick it in the fridge and it will last at least a few weeks in the fridge, or you can freeze it and it will last even longer. Looks like there's bristlenose plecos in a hurry, perhaps to join on the Repashy party as well. And sure enough, that was his or her destination. Pretty safe to say we can call this pleco's new home the top of this Repashy. One of the other reasons I really love Repashy is that it's, you know, sort of versatile and that, you know, pretty much any fish will eat it. They do make a few different types.
This one is the Soilent Green. However, they make a community blend as well as a bunch of different others.
Another knock on Repashy is the price. I actually didn't pay for mine. I bought a tank for $100 with a bunch of stuff and it was actually in there. You can check out that video here. The snails have crashed the party and they've thrown the pleco in this tank. And just as I suspected, it's not even been 20-30 minutes. Just as I suspected, the same thing has happened to this tank with the snails and the shrimp. The shrimp are slowly getting pushed away from the food. In about an hour, that zucchini that was floating has sunk. The mass has just increased. There's not many shrimp left. On those two pieces, you can see the one on the back is now covered in snails. And over here, there's not as many snails. The shrimp is their last refuge, but unfortunately, the mass is coming. The mass is coming.
And now we're going to get to the 55-gallon Mbuna tank, and these guys are like sharks with this stuff. It's pretty cool when you could feed the same food to your little shrimp and then to your big African cichlids as well. These Synodontis couldn't be left out. All in all, I think it's a great food for these guys. Not only the nutrition, but the fact that not one big cichlid can eat it all, and one guy grabs a chunk, another one grabs a chunk, and everyone can get their fair share. Let's see how these pleco babies prefer the Soilent Green Repashy to the zucchini. As we can see, the super red seems to like it, as well as a bunch of the fry.
I think 9 out of 10 plecos agree that Repashy is better than zucchini. And even the shrimp are on it too. Now I'll admit that Repashy is something I make only once every few weeks, and I consider it more of a treat than anything else. Although I'm sure you could use it as your primary food, but for me, I just use it in a rotation of other staples such as the zucchini, flake food, pellets, and the trusty green bean. Been a few minutes and pretty much everybody has abandoned the zucchini, and even Big Papa Super Red is getting involved, although he just got scared. So yeah, I think it's pretty clear that they prefer the Repashy over the zucchini.
If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button and subscribe. And to make sure you don't miss any future videos, feeding ones like this one, DIY videos, and stocking of all my 20+ fish tanks, hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything.
See you guys next time.